Hi everyone, welcome back to Cheese and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 things that my younger self would be proud of me for. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So, in my mental health videos, I often talk a lot about the concept of the younger self. And the reason I do this is because I think a lot of the time we tend to have self-esteem issues surrounding our past selves. We often think of our past selves as inferior, as weaker, as worse versions of the people that we are today. And I used to have a lot of hatred for my younger self. And I worked through this in therapy because I realised that it was not productive and it wasn't helping me, and in fact it was holding me back. So one of the things that I advocate a lot for in my mental health videos is to kind of heal that relationship that you have with your younger self, because when you hate your past self, whether it's yourself as a child or just like a younger version of yourself, you're kind of, it's a form of emotional self-harm, because all the versions of yourself in the past, you carry them with you and they've made you the person that you are today. So to hate any version of yourself in the past is a really destructive thing, because it kind of strikes at the heart of someone that made you who you are today, and someone that you should be grateful for, not, disdainful of. So in this video, I wanted to share 10 things that my younger self will be proud of me for, because chances are there are a lot of things that your younger self will be proud of you for too, and that is often a route towards greater self-acceptance and greater self-esteem, because we often dismiss our own achievements, whereas our past selves, our younger selves, our selves as kids would be amazed and would admire us so much. And if they would admire us, we should admire ourselves, and we should embrace that increased self-esteem that comes with appreciating the achievements of your past self and of your current self. So, that was a long intro. Sorry guys, let's get started. Financial independence. When I was a kid and a teenager, I absolutely dreamed of being financially independent. And now I am, and it is something that I'm aware that my younger self, my past self, would be incredibly proud of me for, because we worked really hard to get here. And it is something that I don't take for granted. Obviously it's normal to me now, and to be able to say that is amazing, but I try not to take it for granted because it once was not my reality, and I want to make sure that it continues to be my reality. So yeah, financial independence, gaining that, maintaining that is something that my younger self will be so proud of me for, and very much likely that if you are also financially independent, your younger self will be hugely proud of you too. Number 2, living alone. I live by myself in a lovely little apartment that I was very lucky to find, and that again was a massive aspiration that I had when I was younger, because I think sometimes we often feel like our independence is not guaranteed when we're younger, and we want to be independent so bad, and that takes the form of, firstly financial independence, but sometimes also being self-sufficient in many ways, and that can include living by yourself. So yeah, the fact that I have an apartment and I decorated it how I want, and I live here by myself, and I pay the rent by myself, and all of that, and I can invite my friends over whenever I want, and I can host dinner parties, and that's just so cool to me, and it's cool. It would be cool to my past self as well. Number 3, graduating. Graduating, I was a massive nerd. I'm still a massive nerd, but yeah, the idea of having an academic achievement so concrete and so long term that I put so much effort into. Graduating from my bachelor's program was maybe one of the proudest moments of my life so far, and I know a lot of people say that, but that's just because it's true. Like, it's something that I put a lot of work into, and yeah, I do want to go for a postgrad degree as well, but that sort of first stage of completing a step of higher education and gaining a degree, very, very important, and something that I'm proud of now, and that my past self would also have been really proud of. We did it. Right, the next thing I want to talk about is something a little bit more personal, and that is estrangement. So I have been estranged from my mother since 2023, and honestly, one of the best things I ever did, okay? So estrangement is a very personal thing, and it was a process that was kind of a last resort for me, but I have felt so much better, and my mental health has been way better, and I think it's not so much the estrangement as the fact that I stood up for myself, which is my next point. Standing up for myself is also something that I am incredibly proud of, and I think my past self would also be really proud of. And I think if you are someone who used to be a people pleaser, or still is kind of a people pleaser, and that's done a lot of damage in your life, then you'll probably be able to relate to this, because learning to stand up for myself was incredibly scary, and I just thought that nobody would like me. And that was completely untrue. What happened was that the people who were bad for me and who relied on me being a pushover in my life disappeared from my life, or I kicked them out. And the people who actually valued me and were more than happy to respect my boundaries and be healthy for me and be loving and caring towards me took their place. So that was a win-win-win scenario. Standing up for yourself, difficult to do, but absolutely worth it. Traveling independently. I love solo travel. I've traveled so much solo, and it has been a journey of improving my confidence, improving my logistical ability, and seeing new places. And all of that has enriched my life so much. I know it's a cliche, but I think if you can travel, especially if you can solo travel, then that is a massive testament to your kind of abilities and your confidence and your just independence in general. So traveling independently is great, and it's something you should be proud of, and that your younger self and my younger self should be proud of as well. Another thing that my younger self would be proud of me for is finally learning makeup. It's not much, but I am definitely more talented at it than I was before, and I remember like being quite frustrated at my lack of skill. I think when I was writing in my journal when I was 19, I was like, you know, I'm 19, I can't even do winged eyeliner. Like, that was a big thing to me at the time. I was like mad about it, but I put in the effort to learn, and yeah, it's maybe a small thing, but I think that sort of effort to actually take care of myself and, you know, feel put together and put effort into feeling put together, that action made me feel like I was worth, you know, taking care of, and that self-care was actually a valid thing to do. And it's a skill, like, you know, makeup it's an artistic skill. So I do feel like my creativity was kind of improved by that. So I'm proud of that, and, you know, my past self would be proud of that as well, because, you know, I used to not feel pretty, and I used to not feel like I could make myself feel pretty, and now I do. So that is like really good progress, and it makes me feel more confident. And yeah, obviously I can feel confident without makeup, but it's a form of creative self-expression, which I really enjoy. Learning to be comfortable in my own skin. This has taken a lot of therapy, but I am much more comfortable with who I am as a person, both in terms of my beliefs, my values, my self-presentation, my appearance, all of that. I'm much more comfortable in my own skin than I used to be, and I'm a lot more confident in expressing my opinions, expressing my values, standing my ground, being happy with myself, being happy in my own body, being comfortable in my skin. It's really been a long process, but I am a lot more comfortable than I used to be, so that's great. I get ice cream whenever I want. That is like something that my kid self would be really proud of me for. Like, yeah, I know it's a small thing, but if I want ice cream, I go to the shop and I get some. And obviously, like, not to an excess, and I try and eat healthy most of the time, but, you know, sometimes I'm going to the shop and I'm getting ice cream, I'm like, you know, if my 10-year-old self was with me right now, she'd be jumping up and down, she'd be like, fuck yeah. I mean, she didn't know the phrase fuck yeah, but fuck yeah. Getting ice cream whenever I want, it's great. And finally, I wanted to end this video on a little bit more of a serious note. Constant curiosity, learning, and self-improvement. I think when we are, during our childhoods, as kids, we often have a sense of like curiosity, and we really want to learn things. You know, kids are always asking like, why? And they just want to know everything, and they just are so curious about life. And I think the fact that I have kind of preserved that or rediscovered that sense of curiosity and that thirst for knowledge, and yeah, I'm a nerd, but I think in general, kids just have this sort of instinct to like learn and absorb as much information as possible. And I've really like cultivated and rediscovered that curiosity in the past few years, and I really want to keep improving that and keep learning. So that constant curiosity, learning, and self-improvement, the fact that I've maintained that and improved that and really pursued that kind of personal growth and learning is something that my younger self would absolutely be proud of me for. And if you've also done the same, then I have no doubt that your younger self would be 100% super proud of you for that. So these are 10 things that my younger self would be proud of me for, because it's really important to recognise your own achievements and recognise how far you've come as a person. Because we often put in a lot of work and then we dismiss our younger selves, and we should never do that, because those younger selves are part of us, and we carry them with me, and we carry them with us, and they are the people that made us who we are today. Okay, so I saw a trend on TikTok, I think it was a Reels trend as well, and the baseline of this trend was to show yourself now, and the caption was, if there wouldn't have been this if there hadn't been you, and then show a photo of your younger self or your less, I don't know, it was a fitness trend mostly, so I think it was like your less fit self or whatever. But I just found a lot of joy in that trend, because it's about really recognizing your achievements as a younger or less skilled or less like practiced version of yourself, and recognizing that contribution. And if you can flip that around as well, recognizing your current contributions towards an idealized future self is really important in learning self-acceptance, because you know what? In 10 years' time, you will be skilled to a greater extent. You will be more talented. You'll be probably more, accomplished in every way. You'll be better than you are now. But the person you are now is working towards that better future, and you should not judge yourself for not being as perfect as your idealized future self. You should be so proud that you're laying the groundwork, and that should really contribute to your self-esteem, because you are doing your best, and your future self is going to be proud of who you are right now. All right, that's 10 things my younger self would be proud of me for. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Be proud of yourselves. Bye.